Hey guys, it's Debbie with Debbie J's Crafting Corner. Today I'm going to be playing with, I am been looking forward to this so much. Anyway, I'm going to be playing with the new collection from Spellbinders and Simon Hurley. These are stinking cute. So we've got two die sets. This is part of the Simon Hurley Spooktacular, yes, Spooktacular collection. And we've got a cute little kitty, and then we have some ghosts. So we've got Bewitched that has this loving, adorable, super big eyes, super cute cat wearing a witch's hat. This is Happy Halloween. Got that. And then we've got this die set that's called the Boo Crew with 3 fun ghosts, 3 different expressions for their faces, plus a bucket. Yeah, so I think it's actually 4 different mouth shapes. I'm gonna have to look and see how this one works, but it looks like it's also got a couple of pairs of sunglasses, and I'm kind of wondering if it'll work with those sunglasses or the glasses that we got, what, 6 months or so ago that go with like the dragon and stuff. So I may have to pull that one out as well, but we're gonna see if that works with this too. These are just, I'm thinking the size wise it should work with the other ones, and I've got like, I don't know how many different pairs of glasses in there. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of playing with these. First things first, I need to do some die cutting to get all the pieces ready so we can assemble our cute kitty and our adorable little ghosts. First, we're going to assemble our little cat. So I am first taking the white pieces of the eyes. There is a little pointed end on each of those. So I've got those kind of going down towards the rest of his face. And we're going to go ahead and put those on there first. I found that this is easier than trying to assemble the eyes all as a piece because there is a little highlight. I want to make sure the highlight is in the right spot. So first we've got the little white part, then I've got this blue glitter cardstock iris that I'm using for the iris part of the eye, and then there's going to be a little black dot that we're going to add, and this just gives that cat so much character. I absolutely love how this little guy is turning out. Now there is one die that is for the buckle that goes on the hat, and it had this little teeny weeny triangle attached to it, so I just used the same yellow cardstock for both. I know a cat's not normally going to have a yellow nose, but ours is. It's a really small piece, so it's hard to actually add on there, especially if you try to keep it right side up. But I get it on there, and I think and line it all up, and it turns out that adds just that last little touch. I'm thinking maybe pink would be better, but I still think it turned out super cute. So yeah, this little piece here actually is for the inside of the ears, so you want to do that in the right color. I initially cut it out of black, not realizing it was for the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and add that on there. And isn't that kitty just so friggin' adorable? I love the big blue eyes. I think that turned out cute, and it's going to match perfectly the hat because I decided to do that one out of the blue as well. Let's go ahead and add this piece, the front of our hat, onto our little cat. I'm putting quite a bit of glue because again, it has to glue onto that glitter cardstock from the back. Just layering that right over the top. And let's make sure it's lined up, and then I'm going to put this under an acrylic block. And there is our little witchy kitty. I think this is adorable. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, almost forgot. We've also got his whiskers. Let's get those and put those on because kitties always need their whiskers. I'm just going to add a little bit of liquid glue behind on the little circle part. Spellbinders has been adding that quite a bit. And there we go. One side done. Now we just need the other. I kind of want them to be a little closer than that. Oh, that works perfect. Just slid it in there a little bit, so now we've got the whiskers showing a little bit on that side. Let's do the same thing on the other. Just put a little bit of liquid glue down on that circle piece. There we go. So our little kitty is done. decided that that's not quite dark enough for behind our little ghost. So let's see if I can take that one off. I'm going to add a little bit of, yeah, this one is done. So it's got a matte behind it, and that's fine. A matte color. It's not shiny or sparkly like the rest. I am going to add a little bit of shady to the bottom of our other two ghosts to give them a little bit of shadow. And let's take a look and see what that looks like. So it'll let you kind of know a little bit of a difference. So I was thinking the glitter might have been enough, but I think it did need a little bit more shadow. And actually this one still does. Let's go up a little bit higher because we've got that slit there that is going to actually be seen. And you could, of course, just cut out of some light gray cardstock, but I don't really have any light gray. So we're just going to use some ink. And there we go. It does have a little bit of a shadow behind it. And of course the layers of cardstock always gives it a little bit more dimension. We're going to go ahead and glue this one on. Each of the ghosts has got a different back piece for their sheet. I'm going to say it's a sheet. And they layer up perfectly. So there we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish getting everything assembled. I did die cut everything out, including our little glasses, and I wanted to show y'all something. So here are the glasses that come with our little ghosts, and they fit perfect on this cute little face. The other dies that I was talking about was the smart glasses that came out a while ago. I will double check and make sure that these are still available if y'all are interested. But these glasses are bigger. And I was thinking they're little tiny things, but these are actually bigger. And I'm thinking if we wanted to, they would fit as big glasses over our kitty, but not on our little ghost. I'm not going to do that today, but that does tell you that there are some more options for using these. I also know that they work great. The sizing is good for a lot of our dancing characters because that's what they were basically designed to work with, like our little dinosaur. But I'm going to put those off to the side, not use them today, but that's just another option for you. I've already cut out pretty much everything. Let's start off with our little hats. The hats have got a couple of different pieces. So we've got the main piece for that. We've got another one that's going to do the brim, and it's going to do the little hat band. Like I said, I've got everything cut out already, so I'm just going to start doing some assembling, and I'm going to leave this out so you can kind of see where I'm getting all of my pieces from. Then we have these bigger black pieces that are designed to go behind the eyes and mouth so that kind of finishes everything up. There's even one for the pumpkin. So I'll go ahead and put that one behind our little jack-o'-lantern here and put on the handle. So we have a little trick-or-treat bucket. Okay, so let's go ahead and put these onto some cards. First off, I went back through my stash of things that I made over the last year. This one was using, I believe it was, I'm going to look it up. I will look it up. We do know that these are some Simon Hurley pastes. I believe these are the neons. And I also used, I don't know if you can see the texture, I believe it was a brick wall stamp that he has. So I will look that up and list it in the description, and in the Link Deli visual supply list down there for you. First off, I'm going to do what I always do. I'm going to trim it down. Actually, I think I'm going to trim it down to 3 3/4. So I'm going to cut a 1/4 inch off of each side. And since I am thinking Halloween, this side I'm actually going to cut a little bit more because, yeah, it's not exactly centered. Anyway, since we are talking Halloween time, I think I want to make sure that I have these jaggedy edges. So I'm using my Deckle trimmer to trim this down. So this is going to be 3 3/4 by 5. Let's just trim a little bit off the bottom, and then I'm going to trim some more off of the top so that we have more of the purple down at the bottom. Okay, so this is going to leave us with a 1/4 inch all the way around on our black card base. Yes, I'm using a black card base. And then we can put our kitty on the front. Now, one problem that I have had the last few days is I cannot find my foam tape. I've got some more on order. It should be here tomorrow, but in the meantime, I'm going to use what I have left over of some of my foam sheets. This is some fun foam that I got at Michael's, so you can use what you have. This is just some white, and I'm going to put that down onto my card, just like this. Because you guys know, I have to have my foam because foam is life. Oh, before I do that, another thing I'm doing with these to make it easier is I'm going to put some double-sided adhesive on the back. So it already has adhesive on one side. That's the way it came. So I've got there's this piece of release paper on one side. The other side, though, does not. So I'm going to make it adhesive on both sides by just adding some scrapbook.com adhesive onto the back. And these rolls come in lots of different widths. This one is a 2-inch. I am actually considering getting the 4-inch if I decide I'm going to start using it more often, but I switch back and forth as to what kind of supplies I want to use. And I use the same ones over and over again. It's kind of the thing. But there you have a lot of options. So use what's in your stash and don't be afraid of trying something new every once in a while. Okay, so we're going to take the release paper off. So now we've got it where it's going to be sticky on both sides. And it's perfectly sized for the back of my card. Okay, so again, I'm going to need a 1/4 inch on all sides. I want to make sure that when I use my T-square, I'm leaving for that amount of space because this is sticky. It's not going to want to move once I get it done. Now, my T-square is the A2 size Pearblossom pressed T-square. There is a new one out. This is the A7. I don't have it yet. And the jigs that are on here are going to be different sizes on that one. This one has a 1/2 inch and a 3/8 inch. It doesn't have a 1/4 inch. The new one will. I am super excited about that. So I have to guesstimate. Now this side does have a little ridge, so that's where I'm going to basically hold it down at. And then I'm going to try to make sure by using my mat, I'm going to try to make sure that I pull this up to about, I can't do it that way. Have to do it on the side. Otherwise I can't do it. Yeah, this is a me thing, not necessarily a you thing. Okay, so I'm going to line that up with the grid on my mat. I'm going to line up my T-square so it is level with the 1/4 inch. Then, I think I wanted, which way did I want it to go? I think I'm going to put yellow at the top. Okay, so now I'm going to bump it up to the side and try to make sure it is in the center there, okay? I'm only lining it up on one side. I'm having to go eyeballing it for the rest, and it looks like I'm a little bit off, so let me move it back. I didn't have quite a full 1/4 inch on this specific card base. Okay, that is going to be close enough. I think that worked out good. And now I'm going to put my little kitty on top. And you know what? Kitty needs some foam too. So I'm getting out a roll of foam tape. This is not the one I usually use. I think, not sure. I think this is also scrapbook.com, but I'm not 100% sure because it doesn't have a name on it. This has just been sitting in my stash for a while. I'm just going to add some foam to the back. This is about 1/8 of an inch, so I think it might be a little bit thicker than what I usually use, but not by much. So this should still not have any problem going through the mail. I am cutting some little teeny weeny little bits to try to make sure that my kitty's tail is adhered down as well. There are a couple of places on the cat's tail that are a little bit wider. That's these little places that got a little tough to fur. So that's going to be the best place, I think, to try putting these down. Okay, so far I'm not having it show on the fronts. That's good. Okay, we can't see the tape. That is fabulous. So just put this last little bit there, and now we can take all the release paper off and position our little kitty. I love this cat. I'm probably going to keep him out for a while. I think he would be perfect any color. Black cat, of course, is my preferred. That's what my kitties were before they passed. But yeah, I think that is so fun for Halloween as one thing, but it's also great year-round because I love kitties. And I think this is fabulous. Okay, let's go ahead and put our little kitty down. He's so cute, and I had to give him those big, pretty blue eyes. Yeah, matches his hat. So I'm going to put him down over here in the corner, and then I've already done our sentiments. So we have Happy Halloween, and I think that's going to go real good across that yellow up at the top. And of course, we have to put some foam on the back of that too. And if you don't have foam, you can always just double, triple, quadruple cut your backing piece, that shadow layer, and that'll give you that dimension that is so nice. But yeah, I love foams because foam is life. Okay, let's go ahead and put these down. I am going to use my T-square again to make sure I have everything lined up. I want this one to go lower and this one to go higher. So I'll put the first one down. I'll put my Halloween down close to the kitty's hat. There we go. And pretty straight. Yes. And then for the other one, I think I probably should have put it a little bit closer. Yeah, I'm going to have to move the Halloween. It needs to go a little bit further down, assuming that I can get that off. Okay, so this is going to come a little bit further down. Closer to the hat. Right about there. Okay. And it's okay that the end of the end is off the side. I'll probably do the same kind of thing with this one, and I'm going to just eyeball this one. So there we go. I think that turned out super nice, and I love the texture of the background. And again, it's where I made this a long time ago, so pull out your other ones. Pull out your backgrounds that you haven't used in a while. We make extras. We always make extras. So pull out some of those and use them on some cars. Give them some love. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do the same kind of thing with our ghosts. So here's another panel that I've got in my stash. This one, yeah, this is just some cleanup from some lunar paste. And I think it does look kind of spooky, so I'm going to use that one for our ghosts. So let's go ahead and trim this. So I'm doing the foam thing, same as I did the other one, using some fun foam on the back of that panel that I cut down. There we go. Press that in there really well. And I can really remove the release paper on the other side and put that onto the front of my white card base. And this time I have it. I don't think it really matters which end is up. I really don't. Okay, we are going to try to do the same thing with the 1/4 inch. So let's line it up with our mat and line it up with my T-square there. And we're going to see if this is about right. Looks like it needs a little bit more because I think it's just a little bit off. Okay, you can kind of see if it's close. So I'm going to line it up in the center there. There we go. So that is pretty close and I'm happy with it. And now we have our 3 little ghosties. So I kind of think I want to do I want to have them overlapping at all? Or we could have them, we could go with a horizontal card. Also got our sentiment, and I went ahead and did that out of that same blue glitter we used on the other one. Boo to you. And since these cut out as 3 separate words, you can put that pretty much anywhere you want to on there. Actually, looking at that, I think that looks cool. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So our first ghost, this one, I'm going to actually glue him down flat. He's going flat in the back. There we go. This one's going to be popped up using that roll of foam. Actually, you can't see the hat with that dark background. So instead of doing the hats, we're just going to do the glasses. Because you can't actually see the hats. I didn't think about that when I picked the background. I was just thinking dark background, bright white ghost would be perfect. So let's take a look at our glasses. Now that looks cute. I think that's what I'm going to go. I'm going to go with that. So let's go ahead and start gluing these down. This is going to be some liquid glue on there. These little teeny weeny things. And then I'm going to probably need to put an acrylic block on the top because this is gluing it to glitter. And that doesn't always want to work. And the glasses just make the faces have kind of a little bit of a different expression. I think this is just friggin' adorable. Let's go ahead and add the sentiment down with some liquid glue. And this time I'm just going to put them a little bit at an angle intentionally. There we go. I'm going to say that that one is done as well. I think these turned out super cute. First couple of cards using the Simon Hurley Spooktacular collection. You guys are going to love this. If you are like Halloween at all, or just cute critters, you're going to love this die set. These die sets. You're going to love this collection. Anyway, that's going to be it for today. You guys have a wonderful day. Be sure to check out this playlist to see more projects where I'm using fabulous Spellbinders and Simon Hurley products. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.